Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. I'm going to be playing in the small square white journal from Natalie May Scrapbooking, and I'm using this collage paper also from Nat. It's got this cool image of Alice in Wonderland on it, and I love the colours in the background. I'm almost a little bit predictable, I guess, because you know that I love bright colours and I just can't resist collage papers that have those colours in the background because it means I can play with those colours on my journal page. So I'm just cutting it out using the water brush. As you know, it's a really great way to um, cut Nat's images out because it leaves a nice soft edge, easier to blend in. Um, there are no collage papers quite like the ones that Natalie May Scrapbooking sells. So if you haven't played with them, take the plunge and get some ordered because they are great quality and they melt into your page. So I've just used some gel medium to stick that down, giving it a dry, and then I'm going to use some watercolour paints just to pull those colours out a little bit. So um, I filmed this page quite a while ago, and this was at the point where I was still kind of playing with these watercolours from Jane Davenport. And as you know, if you watched my last video, I've decided that they're nice, but they're not that. They're not all that. So for me personally, this is my personal opinion. Um, but the colours are really pretty and they match really nicely with the collage paper here. So what I'm doing is just looking for the colour that's going to work with what's already on the collage paper, and then I'm just going to pull that out across the page. So interestingly, these journals from Nat do not need gesso on the pages. I have put no gesso, no watercolour gesso. It's a really smooth cardstock and it just plays really nicely with different mediums. So that's worth knowing as well, I guess. So just continuing to pull those colours out, and in some places I'm pulling them to the edges, and in other places not so much. Just kind of playing at this point and just seeing how these behave on my page and trying to make the image flow out across my journal page. I've also added some splatters as well, just to finish off. Then this is a stencil I designed for Nat called Happy Marks, and I'm using Raspberry from Dean and Wakely. I'm just going to add a little bit of stenciling onto the page as well, and I'm overlapping that onto colours. I'm just playing really. There's no master plan here. I'm just kind of looking and thinking, oh yeah, that would be nice there. Let's pop a bit here. And it's that thing that I tend to say, which is if your brain goes, oh, I think I need a bit there, put something there, because I believe that's your brain's way of going, this isn't quite balanced yet. And now I'm looking at this, you see, I'm thinking that bottom left hand corner could have done with a little bit of stenciling. But I obviously didn't see that at the time. So now I'm using some archival inks and some stamps from Natalie, and I'm just adding a little bit of stamping onto my page as well. it does look like I'm just stamping with my finger. I've in fact got the stamp stuck to my finger. It's a really quick and lazy way to use the stamps because they are quite sticky. So you can just pick them up with your finger and then just pop the stamping down. You don't need to be bothering with an acrylic block. Um, but yeah, I'm going in with similar colours to the ones that I've already used on my page and just adding some little touches of stamping to my pages as well, just to bring some more interest and patterns to the background. Here I'm just using a gel pen and I'm just going in and just doing a bit of doodling and a bit of outlining, pulling some of the circles out and just doing some scribbly lines around them. This is a nice way to just add a bit more detail into your backgrounds too. I've also added some black stamping. Now here I'm going to be using the shaded lowercase stamp set that I designed for Nat. And as you know, I have this little box of stamped letters, um, which I am actually using quite a lot. And I found it really, really useful. Haven't always got time to be stamping out tons of letters and faffing about, but actually this is quite a good way to do it. So I found this box at a local craft store and yeah, I can just go through and select. I'm only using tweezers because it's so much easier to get in. They're all packed so full of letters. And then I'm just going to trim those down so that they're going to fit better on my page and then stick them in place using some Dina Wakley Media glue. So the pen that I'm using here is an Artex, that's ARRTX, acrylic paint pen. You can find these on Amazon. They're not very expensive. They've got a really nice brush tip on one end and like a small bullet tip on the other. They are really nice to use and they work really well on journal pages. They're not super expensive too, which I quite like because occasionally, you know, you do have that disaster where you go to write on a page and it isn't quite dry and it trashes your pen. And then I just felt that this needed a little bit of a border just to balance up that black element that's in the middle. And for me, this just finishes this page off really nicely. So here I think I'm just using the other end of the pen to go round and draw a border around the page. I love how the colours work on this. It's really bright and colourful and pretty. Again, these collage papers are from Natalie May Scrapbooking. You can find her online. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, found some inspiration, and I hope to see you again soon.